Hi there, and welcome to a new episode of Extreme Banding, the slow YouTube camera channel dealing with various photographic nightmares. I am living in one of them right now, December in the north of Sweden. Weather is so-so, and the sun never rises. There's no time or place for photography, so what can you do? Think about which all-mechanical rangefinder camera with a cost below 1,000 euros you would like to use for the rest of your life, perhaps. Leica started out by introducing the Leica I in the end of the 1920s, a camera without viewfinder or rangefinder, but otherwise the same design as what we see here. The Leica II Model D, released in 1932, it was followed by the Leica III in 1933. They added slow speeds and increased the rangefinder magnification to 1.5 times magnification. Following developments were moving the rangefinder and viewfinder windows closer together with the Leica IIIb in 1938, making the die-cast body in the Leica IIIc in 1940, and for the Leica IIs, that is, the Leicas without slow-speed dials, the die-cast body Leica IIc came in 1948, and then the very last development was the Leica IIf, released in 1951.
So, was this an improvement over this? Well, in some obvious ways it is. Closer between rangefinder and viewfinder, the things mentioned, diopter, shutter speed, but you also had this model, the IIIf, with the slow speed dial, which I don't like since it gets in the way of the finger, and I don't use that slow speeds with these cameras anyhow. So the viewfinder stayed the same. A bit wider, a bit taller, but the same weight. Since the weight is the same, but this one is a bit bigger, it feels, a bit less substantial. Now this is a Soviet copy, so it has worse leather than this one, but that can also be switched out. But other than that, I would say this one has a more substantial feel. It's a bit smaller, which is good. And they both are, totally perfect in hand. I couldn't think of a better camera to hold. So this is the rangefinder of the Leica IIf, 1.5 times magnification with diopter correction, and of course it is very easy to focus, and this 0.5 times magnified 50mm frame is very easy to see and to frame with. It is also very, very bright. And for composing, I think this is very, very good. A lot of people think these finders are squinty, etc., etc., but I think it's just fine. It's really an ingenious system. A bit bigger viewfinder would of course have been nice, but then you would have had a bigger camera as well. I think this compromise it was a very wise decision. This is much easier to switch between than on the original Leica II, since they are, so close to each other. But when using an auxiliary finder, it's not an advantage, since it's not as straightforward to find the rangefinder window. There's no denying that is better if you plan to use a 50mm lens on it without auxiliary finders. It's a great system. This also works good. The advantage is, as this is one-to-one, you can, use this with both eyes open and just have a rangefinder patch in the middle of your vision and then guesstimate the framing. But it is also nice for auxiliary finders, especially since it's a bit smaller. But depending on what system you prefer here, and the diopter correction, the 1000 shutter speed. For me, personally, prefer this one. I like the one-to-one finder and the slightly smaller body. But other than that, I would say I would take this one over any of the Canon cameras, for example. But if you don't like bottom loading, these cameras are not for you.